What's up, witches? What is up? Surprise! What's up? Surprise, surprise. What's up? Let's see who's up. Checking out, guys. And I'm a swag. What's up? What's up, witches? What is going on? Surprise! It's not really high tea. I am having tea, and I am having tea out of my high tea mug, but it's not exactly high tea because it's not the full moon, so I'm not smoking. But I did have a little CBD gummy, so close enough. What's up? Who's up? What's up, witches? Wagwan, as the island folks say. Oh, thank you for liking. What's up, guys? Maruta, hi. I'm so tired. What's up? Hey, Betty, what's going on? What time is it in your neck of the woods? Is it late? You gotta work in the morning. What's up? What it do, witches? What is going on? How we be? How we doing? It's 10:30 where you are. It's 10:30 for me too. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's everybody doing? Are you all getting ready for bed? I do not have time to do my nails, which are falling apart. They're practically like literally falling off of my fingers. But I'm going to the woods with the witches on Friday. I have a lot of stuff going on this week, and I don't have time to redo them. And also, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to redo them, being that I'm going to be like out in the wilderness doing witchy things. So I'm just like going to try to save them and like neaten them up enough so that they don't go like flying off at some point. And then prayerfully, they will last me until the weekend when I should have time to do them. Same time as you. You're on baby watch? Oh my goodness. Yes. Grandma duties. I love that. I love that very much. What are you up to, Maruta? What are you doing? Why are you up so late? I guess this isn't really late for witches, honestly. We tend to be night creatures and up really late most of the time anyway, I find. What's going on? I wanted to pop on. I'm on a night owl schedule. Yeah, that's what my mom used to call me as a kid. Such a night owl. Oh my gosh. I was a really avid reader as a kid. I'm still reading. Hey, Nat. Yes. Okay. Take a couple pulls from me. Okay. Because I can't join you right now. Okay. I'm on a bit of a fast. As you guys know, I try not to smoke in between full moons. And if I can be honest with you, I got a little carried away the last few months and was just like, really going a little too hard. And it was great because it helped me to find rest, which is something I have not had in the last 2 years. And thank you, my dear. I will take that. Yes. That's something that I really honestly haven't had in like the last 2 years. And we have like the shop witches in place and the online portals going good. And we have someone in place to help with that. Shout out to Nuri. And so I basically was like, oh my gosh, I don't have to open and close the shop every day. I don't have to be here at 8 or 9 a.m. and then here till 8 or 9 p.m. and then go home and work. And like, I kind of got a little carried away with it because I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually rest and sleep and like relax. So I was smoking kind of hard for the last, like, I don't know, 3-4 months, I want to say. And then recently, I just felt like it was time to detox and get back to kind of my normal hustle, because even though I have the help at the shop and I don't have to be in the shop as many hours as I was, the shop still requires just as many hours of my time and attention and work right now. So, yeah. Do you guys see that in the back? Check it out. I got me a Dong de Verre. That's the packaging. That's not even the bag. That's the packaging. Okay? Rich witch action, yes. Okay? I felt like I deserved a level up because I go to the shop every day with basically a child's backpack that I bought myself back in law school. And it has held me down. Shout out to my backpack. But I felt like, I'm a boss witch these days, and it's important that my vibe like reflect the energy that I want to be in. And so the bag, in a way, is kind of like a step up. It's like if the bag were a person and I were trying to date it, I would say it's like a little out of my league. But I feel like that's what you should do when you're manifesting something, is you surround yourself with what you want to be and what you envision for your future, rather than just like keeping things the same and staying with what's comfortable. Because I love my backpack. It's super comfortable. I know exactly where everything is. I know what's going to fit in it. Like, I could definitely keep using it. It has some like worn parts, but all the zippers are good. There are no holes. Like, I could definitely still use it, but I realized that was keeping me in the energy of like what's comfortable, what I know, what I'm used to. And it was time for me to break out of that a little bit and kind of level up. And I'm like, man, am I ready for this? Like, am I sophisticated enough to keep a nice quality neoprene backpack that's like a couple $100s, like nice and clean, and like, am I really on that level yet? And I was like, hey, I'm gonna get on that level if I'm not, right? Like, I'm gonna become that witch that like doesn't just throw her backpack in the corner when she gets home, because we're leveling up into a different vibe, different behaviors, and all of that. So yes, get excited. I'm probably gonna like not unbox it, but just like show it to you guys at some point. But I felt like I couldn't start the bag. Like, I got the bag earlier this week. It was a gift from my mom for my birthday. And normally I would never like let her get me something like this, but I was like, she was offering, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And I got it last week, but my nails, as I said, are about to fall off. My hair needs to be washed and retwisted. And I was like, I cannot start my Rich Witch era in my brand new multi-$100 bag with nails that are about to fall off and crusty hair. So I'm going to do my nails this weekend. I'm going to wash and retwist my hair this weekend. I'm going to clean out my old backpack. I'm going to neaten everything up, get it ready for the new backpack so I can like really own it. Hey, June. Oh my gosh, I know, right? It's weird not having the membership anymore over here. I'm so used to you guys having all your different color badges and stuff. Yeah. She's so August 31st, right? Yes. I cannot wait. I am. Yes, Maruta. You get the vibes. I'm going to make it a whole. It's going to be like, I'm going to have a me day. It's going to be either Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. I always have to kind of wait to see how the week is playing out. Now that we're open on Sundays, it is. Sunday used to be my complete relaxed day, but with the shop being open, even if I'm not over there, I can't disconnect completely, because at any moment I might get a phone call or a text message or an email from one of the shop witches about something going on. So I'm not yet at the point where I can totally just like turn off all my phones and stuff knowing that the shop is open. I'm just getting comfortable with not being there. Okay, so one step at a time, I will get there. But if it's not Sunday, then Monday or Tuesday. Monday we have book club, so I like usually spend the day doing errands and stuff like that because I know I'm going to be kind of on the computer. Even though it's like a hangout session, it's still work because I have to facilitate the meetings, have to make sure everything happens on time and blah, 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 blah. So Monday is like kind of a semi-work day, and Tuesdays are becoming my rest day, which used to be my day for taking meetings, but lately has been more of a rest day. So it's probably going to be Tuesday. But either way, I will definitely take some pictures and videos or whatever of the bag because she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous, and I'm going to definitely make it like a little ritual for myself. You know, do my nails, do my hair, clean up some stuff, throw some things out, and just like reset, because the end of the month is huge for me because I've got my big webinar coming up next week, which I hope all of you guys are going to be there for. Hey, Ahmad. And then my coaching program begins 2 weeks after that. September 13th is the kickoff day, the very first session of the 6-month coaching program that I have been working on for what feels like forever, but is finally in the finishing stages and just about ready for you guys. So that kicks off the very first day of group classes for the private coaching clients will be on September 13th. So I feel like the end of August is a good time for me to reset and get ready for the fall, back to school, classes in session, coaching programs in session. And we'll see. I'm going to be making the decision around that time as well about whether or not we're going to stay open on Sundays. We were previously open from Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 7. And then we would just do like, sound bowl sessions or Reiki classes on Sundays, and we would just open up for special things. Then when the summer came around, I was like, why don't we just open on Sundays for the whole summer? Because people are out and about. And that was really great. Sundays have been really busy. But now we're going back into the school year, and some of the shop witches are teachers and have to go back to school. So we might not have as many shop witches available. So I don't know. I'll have to see if we're going to stay open on Sundays. So my Sundays might be coming back as my rest day. But I wanted to hop on with you guys because I wanted to make sure that you guys knew all about the webinar and all about the coaching program, because the last time I came live here on YouTube, I was in bed chilling in my PJs. I mean, I'm in my PJs now again, but I was like really in bed that time. And the webinar wasn't a thing yet. The coaching program was coming together, and I was just kind of talking about some of the ideas. So I was like, oh, I should go live again because now everything is like finalized. And I want to make sure if you're not on my new mailing list and stuff like that, that I, make sure you have all the details. This phone. I don't want my phone battery to die because I might use it to show you guys some of the stuff that's going to be in the coaching program, because I've got like pictures and stuff. So if you don't know, am I near Riverdale? I'm in the Bronx, honey. So, I mean, the thing about New York City, I always wonder, like, people are like, are you near? It's New York City. Get on the train, get on the bus, hop in an Uber. Riverdale is not technically far. I don't know if there's a direct train that goes from where I am by Yankee Stadium to the Riverdale area, but there are definitely buses, okay? And then an Uber, is like 15 minutes. Riverdale is a very accessible part of the Bronx, and where I am is Yankee Stadium, and that's a very accessible part of the Bronx. So whether you're driving, it's like literally one exit to the next exit on the highway. If you're taking the bus, there's like 3 different buses that go pretty much direct. And then the train, you're by the 4 train. Oh yeah, child. 161st Street Yankee Stadium. T.S. Madison. Wait, not the T.S. Madison. Not mother T.S. Madison. I know, June said the T.S. Madison? Wait, are you kidding? Y'all better come on over here. Come on. Even if it's not the T.S. Madison, anybody calling themselves T.S. Madison better stop by. Yes, the T.S. Madison's coming on September 8th. Oh my gosh, what? We are going to be having Reiki weekend, that weekend at the shop. We have 2 certification classes happening in the shop, but those are happening in the relax room. So the shop is still open. Yes. Come on by. Can you imagine, June, you are a Reiki practitioner. You took, I believe, your level 1. Could you imagine if you were in class and then T.S. Madison shows up in the middle of Reiki class? What? What a vibe. Like, are you kidding? I need a certification class for pulling trade. No, wait, can y'all teach one? Are you serious? We do guest instructors all the time. Our Reiki class is not taught by a shop witch. It is taught by my Reiki teacher, June's Reiki teacher, Dr. Thomas Capshu, who's from Virginia. So we have guest instructors come. Listen, we are all about educating the witches on everything they need to know to level up in this world, to make the world what they wanted, to make their lives what they wanted, okay? So I see no problem with a trade class. Yes. And listen, I know that TS knows boots. So you don't have to reveal any of the secrets, but I know that y'all be getting into your cauldron too when you need to, okay? Not every witch is like doing it every day. Sometimes witches just pull it out when they need to. So I know y'all are already about it. So yes. Oh my gosh, we would love to have you. That'd be awesome. Hit me up. You can email the shop, info@bronxwitch.com. Just to give me the details, just so we can make sure that we have like, some special accommodations. We love when a special guest comes by. Yes, please email me. We will make sure that, because like I said, the shop witches are there now, which is wonderful. So sometimes I'm not in the shop because I'm doing things for the shop outside of it. But I will make sure that I'm there, and I'll make sure that you are well received and everything. So please, info@bronxwitch.com. We will take care of the girlies. We will get your candles. We will get your crystals. We will get you right. Okay. But yeah, so the webinar, you guys, I'm so excited about this. First of all, 56 people have already registered for the webinar. Okay, so shout out to y'all. I love when people don't wait till the last minute, because people like to wait till the last minute and then be like, oh my God, where's my link? Oh my God, like, don't do that. Just register. Make sure you get your email. Make sure you get your link so that you are in the Zoom room when it all goes down, okay? The webinar is happening on Wednesday, August 30th. So that is next week, a week from now. It's going to be at 9 p.m., which I know is a little on the later side, but I wanted to make sure that our West Coast witches didn't get left out. They often get left out when we do, 7 o'clock stuff. So I wanted to make sure that the West Coast witches didn't get left out. And I wanted to make sure that we were coinciding with this full moon, because this full moon is a very special one in general, but a super special one for me because this is my birth month. It's closing out the birth month, and it is a blue moon. It is the second full moon in the month, which is obviously fairly rare. And so I really wanted to channel that energy of this full moon into what we're going to be talking about in the webinar. And I also wanted to give you like a full moon ritual. So basically, like, I know a lot of times, especially as we're getting more acclimated with our craft and getting more more, just becoming better witches and having our practice be more of a part of our everyday. The full moon rituals, new moon rituals, we often say to ourselves, like, oh, I'm going to do something for this full moon. Oh, I'm going to do something for this full moon. And then we don't. And then we maybe like, stress out about it. You can consider the webinar your full moon ritual. All right. So you don't have to make any other plans besides getting comfortable, sitting in front of your computer or phone, maybe make a cup of tea, maybe light a candle, some incense, set the vibes, and then tune into the webinar. We will definitely have a couple of ritualistic moments to honor the full moon and stuff, in addition to what I'm going to be teaching you guys, which are the 10 areas that I have identified as being central to going from baby witch to better witch. And basically, to come to these 10 areas of concentration, what I did was I thought about what are the most important things that I have either learned or were taught by an elder on my 25 plus year journey. And I kind of like looked at what were the most important moments for me? What were the most important things? What are the things that have really transformed my life, transformed my practice? Things like meditation and mindfulness, knowing yourself and self-realization, things like divination, okay, which is basically going to spirit for messages rather than relying on what people tell you, and doing that through different forms: tarot, the pendulum, playing cards, bones, sticks, whatever. um, One of the areas that has been super huge for me is learning about universal law as described in the Kabbalion, which is what sets the foundation for all of my spell work. And I think if you understand universal law, then you never have to worry about anybody's spell instructions or anybody's recipe or anything like that. If you understand universal law, you are going to be able to create your own spells or modify spells to your own need, because you're going to understand which universal laws are at play in the spell, what universal principles are at play in the spell. That's super helpful also when you're looking at like different traditions and being like, oh, so in this tradition, you would do a love spell like this. In this tradition, you would do a love spell like that, but they both work. Why do they both work? Well, they both work because they're both maybe based on the same universal law principle, and the ingredients or the color of the candle or the day that you cast is not as important. Those are great layers of the onion that help to further along the energetic alignment. But at the core of why things are working are these 7 universal principles that run through everything in the universe. So I'm going to talk about that, because when I learned that, basically my spell casting was like, okay, bam. Now I don't just cast spells and hope that I get the outcome I want. I feel guaranteed. I know exactly I'm going to get what I want, because I understand the universal law. We're going to talk about mental health. Yes. Oh, hey, Betty. Yes, I'm glad you're going to be there. We're going to talk about mental health. Yep. This is something that I don't think enough witches are talking about, particularly those with platforms or who teach. Some of y'all are super sensitive. Some of y'all, the clairs are out of control. Some of you see the other side. You see energetic beings. You can hear angels making their sounds. You can hear spirits talking. And some of y'all might need to see a professional. Okay? No shade. And it's important to have a grasp on the difference. Okay? Because absolutely 100% you can be a mentally ill witch. Yes, you can. It is okay. Okay? You can absolutely have a diagnosed mental illness and be a totally competent, ethical practitioner. But I don't think that you can do that if you are mentally ill and you do not know that you are mentally ill and you are not taking any steps to address it and to work around it. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Learning about that. Going to therapy 3 years ago made a huge shift in my practice for me, realizing some of the things about how my brain work that have nothing to do with spirituality and have everything to do with the chemicals and the hormones in my head. Okay, so we are going to talk about uh, these pivotal things for me. And the reason why I decided to like approach it this way rather than being like, here's a class for, how to be a witch. We're going to do spells and you're going to do this is because just like with my podcast, Better Witch, I feel like my purpose and my calling is not to keep repeating the same how to information that at this point you have Googled and YouTubed and read a million books about, but to actually help you become a better version of yourselves, to actually incorporate these things into your life and wake up at some point in the next 6 months and say, oh shit, I'm different. I couldn't do that before. And now I can. I didn't get that before. And now I get it. Like that's what matters to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I spent so many years as a solo witch by myself, trying to figure it out and reading book after book after book that just after a while started to just feel like the same shit over and over and over again. And I realized that like at some point I got to stop reading about it and being about it. And I didn't have a witchy older sister or an elder in the beginning to actually help me make it a part of my life, make it my lifestyle. So that's what I want to do. That's what I want to offer to the world of witches, hashtag witches helping witches, because I feel like that's what I can do to help. I don't feel like it would be helpful for me to just repeat the same wonderful, important stuff to know, but that not for nothing at this point has been written about, videoed about 6,000 times. Do you really need somebody to show you, how to do a cord cutting spell? Do you really need somebody at this point to show you how to put somebody in a jar? For crying out. I mean, you get it. You know what I'm saying? You've seen it a million times now. What you don't have is the confidence to go ahead and do it yourself. Or what you don't have is an understanding of why when you did it, it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that takes somebody explaining it to you and doing it with you, that I feel like I am ready to give to the next witch. So that's what the focus of the webinar is going to be. So do not expect, like, we're covering 10 topics in 2 hours. Okay. And so if you're wondering, like, how in the world am I going to cover 10 topics in 2 hours? It's because when we get to meditation, I am not going to sit there and teach you everything about meditation. I have a whole meditation course on the shop's online portal that you can take, and it will take you hours to go through. And honestly, you don't need my help with that necessarily, right? Like you can go and find a video about how to meditate. You can read a book, how to meditate. You can take a class like mine, how to meditate. But what you might not know is how do I, if I'm somebody who can never find the time to meditate, can never concentrate when I do, can never seem to make it a regular part of my life. I might commit to it for 3-4 days in a row and then it falls off and now I don't meditate for months. Like, now you need somebody to help you go from learning about meditation to how do you become a meditating person? And why does it matter to practicing witchcraft in the first place? Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on. I'm not going to be teaching you the 1, 2, 3s. You guys got the 1, 2, 3s, altar setup. We're going to talk about creating sacred spaces and why they are portals for communication with the other side, why that's useful for a practitioner, how to keep that portal from opening up to things you don't want to communicate with, right? You don't need me to tell you how to set up an altar. You've already watched a bajillion videos. There's an altar right behind me, and I bet you all could replicate it immediately. It's not on camera because it's my ancestor altar, and they're not about this camera life. so you can't see it. Don't ask. But it wouldn't blow you away if you could see it, right? There are candles, there's incense, there's like an order to where things are. There are pictures of the ancestors. Like, you get that part already. You know what I'm saying? Um, yes, we'll talk about the principles of setting one up, but I'm not going to give you a how to set up an altar, because you can find that anywhere. And the how to, honestly, is the least important part of it. What we're going to talk about is, why is an altar a portal, and how do you use that portal? How do you open it? How do you honor it? How do you close it? How do you communicate with what's on the other side? How do you, like I said, keep anything from coming through that portal that you don't want to communicate with? That's the type of stuff that took me a really long time to learn by myself. And I don't want you to have to go through that whole trial and error journey any more than you already have. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nerd fighter life. That's a really good point. Said I need to properly set up my altar. It's kind of makeshift right now, which has worked, but I want more time to dedicate to that. I love that. But what I want to teach you is why energetically it makes a difference for you to dedicate more time to it. Okay. I don't want you dedicating more time to your altar just because the next witch seems to spend more time at their altar. I want you to dedicate more time to your altar because you understand how it works and what you can get out of it if you do. And I want you to understand that it being makeshift does not matter. Okay? Does not matter, because it's a doorway. It's not about what the door looks like. How many times do you walk through a doorway and think, wow, this door is great? No. Is it the door to where you want to go? Yes or no, right? Does it open for you when you get to it, or is it locked? Right? That's what matters. So I want to help you understand that your makeshift altar is exactly perfect the way that it is. What could use a little bit of work is your understanding of how it works. Marlene was over in my bedroom. I knew not to put her glass on my ancestor altar. I love that she respects it. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, listen. I have a homegirl like that. Shout out to Yuri. I haven't seen her in a little bit. I miss her. Yuri, we all have those like semi-witchy friends who are not really witches, but they indulge us because, they kind of have a little witchy element to themselves. And my friend Yuri definitely has like a witchy element to herself, even though she's not a practitioner. And she's very respectful. And I love when she comes over because she's witchy, she wants to know about everything. And she's always so like, oh my God, you have all the herbs, you have all these things. Like, this is so cool. Like, she loves it, but she's very respectful. She always asks before she touches anything. Every table in my house is kind of in some way an altar. And she's always like, can I put this here? Is this an altar? Can I touch that? Is that okay? And I love that. I love that because you definitely don't always get that from your friends, So, so in the webinar, we are going to be together for 2 hours during the full blue moon next week, Wednesday, August 30th at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I am going to introduce to you my 10 areas of concentration that I know, because I've done it. I know that if you put some effort and some energy and spend just a few weeks on each of these 10 topics, that you are going to become a better witch. You are going to get to the end of that and be like, oh, damn, I can really do some shit that I really was hoping I could do, but didn't know for sure. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to give you not only like my story about how these areas impacted me, but I'm also going to give you some like action steps and things that you can do right after the webinar to start working on these things for yourself. And I think that 2 to 3 weeks spent really focusing on those action steps and actually doing them, you are going to be in a much, much, much better place. than where you are right now, and it's going to accelerate you. I promise you, if you do that for yourself, you are going to just jump to the next level in your craft rather than going at this kind of slow, read a book, maybe do a couple of exercises kind of a pace. Okay, so that's the webinar. It's totally free, Avi. The link to register is in the description for this. I think I also pinned it in the chat if you can see that. And yeah, just go ahead and register. I think you have to put in like your name and your email, and it will send you a confirmation email with the Zoom link to tune in. And if you were like, did I register or not? Look for the email. If you didn't get an email, then you didn't register. So register, check your inbox. You're going to get a confirmation email that says you have successfully registered for the webinar, and there will be further instructions on where to tune in. If you are a Coven community member in my shop's online portal, then there has been a web event created in the Coven community. You still have to register. It's still going to bring you to the registration page, but it's just another place to access it. In case you don't have access to the description here, or you don't follow me on Instagram, or you're not on my mailing list, it's in there. Okay. Speaking of mailing lists, guys, I want to let you know, I think everybody in the room is probably on the BronxWitch HQ mailing list, because that mailing list started off as my mailing list. It's so funny because a lot of the things that I created, I feel like I squeezed out of my magical cooch these things, and now I'm like giving them to my shop. So like my, the BronxWitch name, even I have like squeezed out, and now it belongs to the shop. I'm back to being Alysha Kravetz on Instagram. I feel like I birthed the mailing list. That was my mailing list to start, but now it's the shop's mailing list. If you're on that mailing list, you're probably getting emails a few times a week about the events we're having and stuff like that, but you're probably not getting any emails about what I'm doing personally. So I actually sent out an email this week to that mailing list to be like, hey, this mailing list is officially the HQ mailing list now. If you want to know what's going on with Alysha Kravetz, then you're going to want to join this new mailing list that I started. So I started a new mailing list, okay? You're going to be able to join it when you register for the webinar. And I encourage you to do that, because moving forward, there will not be anything Alysha Kravetz related coming through the HQ mailing list, okay? It hasn't in a while anyway, but like for sure, if you want to know about my webinars, if you want to know about my coaching program, if you want to know about my podcast, if you want to know about anything that Alysha Kravetz is doing, then you're not going to get that information on that mailing list. I've created a new mailing list, and you can access it when you register for the webinar, or you can go to the link in my bio on my Instagram page, which is now Alysha Kravetz, and join over there, okay? And if you join that mailing list, you will not get any information about the shop, okay? Any information about the shop. Now, if I teach a class or something at the shop, or drop a class in the shop's online portal, then yeah, I might tell you about it, but you're not going to get emails about, sounds and words, or the tea and tarot parties, or anything that's going on in the shop. All right? So yeah, we're taking it all. Good. I feel like I'm taking some of my power back. Not like my power, but like my own energy back. I was the shop for so long, and the shop was me. I was BronxWitch, and BronxWitch was I. And like it was all this one thing. And now I have kind of let it go. And now there are many BronxWitches, and I get to go back to being me and focusing on what I like to do outside of the shop, which is to talk about witchcraft and help other witches. Yes, Maruta. Registered. Love it. Exactly. My creation has taken on their own life and I can refocus. That's exactly what it feels like. It feels like I needed to. And I think that's why I was smoking so hard for the last few months, because I needed to, like, imagine if you have a kid. Well, some of you have kids. You have a kid, right? And they're a little kid and they need you for every single thing. And they're like sucking off the teat 24 hours a day. And like, and then they finally get big enough that they can like walk and talk and dress themselves and feed themselves. Like, you probably have a little moment of like, I have my life back. So I think that's what happened for the last few weeks. And I was just like smoking up a storm because I was just like, oh my God, like my child can walk on its own now. And then I was like, wait, but it's still my child. Holy shit. Let me stop. Let me get back into mommy mode and make sure I don't drop the ball. Fuck, my tea is cold. Damn it, always do that. You also registered? Yes! I'm excited to see you guys there. Last I checked, there were like 50 people that had registered, which is really exciting because we still have a whole nother week. So I'm imagining we might have like 100 people in the room, which is going to be really cool. Especially for those of you who feel like you're alone or there are no other witches out there that are like you. Like, to be in a room, even if it's a virtual room of 100 other witches, is a nice feeling. Yes, Junior registered. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And anybody who registers, obviously you're going to get access to the replay after. So if you're not able to tune in, or let's say you already have your own full moon plans for the evening, which I totally understand, and the timing doesn't work, that is fine. You will get the replay, so you will still get to watch it and all of that good stuff. I encourage you to tune in live time if you can, because I'm going to have some special offers and some things that are only going to be available to those who are actually in the room. So be mindful of that. If you can tune in, don't miss out, because you might, miss out. There's going to be a giveaway. Yes, there's going to be a giveaway. 3 witches are going to win a free coaching module with me, okay, in the webinar. They're going to be announced. They're going to be chosen and announced right in the webinar. So it's all going to be done live. So you're not going to be able to participate if you watch the replay. So just keep that in mind. If you can come, I would encourage you to do it, because you might win the giveaway. Okay. And then the other thing that I wanted to let you guys know is that the webinar is, in addition to being like my 10 tips on becoming a better witch, it is also going to be an introduction into my coaching program, the first session of which will happen on September 13th. And my coaching program is the Better Witch Magic Intensive, Becoming a Better Witch in 6 months. And this is my life's work. Okay, this is the big kahuna thing that has been in my mind for what feels like ages. I've always wanted somebody to do this with me. So, because there's plenty of witches that teach classes and stuff like that, but I'm like, can somebody just like walk me through it for like 6 months? Can you just like stand there while I do shit for the next 6 months and just like walk me through it? So I was like, I feel like I could do that for other people. So that's what we're going to be doing. The intensive is grabs, herbs, and notebooks. Yes, 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 yes. The intensive, I worded it that way intentionally. If any of you guys know me, you know I take things pretty seriously. Maybe a little too seriously, some would say, but it serves me well. I take myself seriously. I take what I do seriously. I take my craft seriously, and I've approached it in a very like academic way. And so the program that I have created is for folks who are serious and like learning in that way. Okay. If you do not like getting homework assignments and having to submit them by a certain time, if you do not like needing to take quizzes before you can move on to the next chapter, if you do not like being held accountable for the practices that you say you're going to do, just come to the webinar. Okay? Just come to the webinar, get what I've got to give, enjoy, use it, and use it to inform your own journey. But for those of you who are a lot more serious and really want to approach your craft in a rigorous, maybe even academic kind of a way for 6 months, then the Magic Intensive is something that I really want you to consider because I think you'll benefit from it immensely. To do the 6-month program, it is going to take you somewhere between 22 and 26 weeks to complete, okay? 22 weeks is ideal. If you stay on top of everything, you make every class, you make every one-on-one session, you do your homework assignments, you do your quizzes before the next session, all of that good stuff. 22 weeks is the absolute minimum it's going to take you, we're going to spend together. I'm going to give you up to 26 weeks to get it done because life happens, right? There might be an emergency, God forbid. Something goes on where you cannot be in class, you cannot make it to your one-on-ones, you cannot complete your homework, etc., and you need a little more time. You need another week, maybe you even need 2 weeks of extension. I am going to be able to do that, but I'm not going to give you more than 26 weeks. Okay? And I hope you understand. Like, the idea is for all of us to stay on pace with each other for the most part. And I don't want you to fall so far behind that this becomes just another one of those things that you like sign up for but never really take. How many of us have those? I can't even front. I have classes that I've bought, webinars that I was supposed to take that I got the replay for that are still sitting in my inbox that have not been played. I know that some of y'all have those from me because I can see who watches my replays, and I know that a lot of you have not watched all the replays of everything that you've ever gotten from me or signed up for. Okay? We all do that, right? Oh, I can't make it to that thing, but I really want that knowledge, so I'm going to watch the replay. And we just want to have it there for the day that we are ready or have the time to do it. But then that day never comes around. We're always going to be busy. We're always going to have stuff to do. Right? And I don't want you to do that with this. I don't want you to fall off that far that it becomes something you paid for that just sits there. Okay? So 22 weeks is the goal that we'll all be striving for. But if you need time along the way, here and there, an extra week here and there, absolutely, I will accommodate you. But I do not want this program to take longer than 26 weeks for you. Because then that suggests to me, unless of course there's like some real struggles and it's just really hard or what have you, like I'm here for you. Like I'm not going to just give up on you. But if we're getting beyond 26 weeks and it feels like you're just not really prioritizing this, and I don't want that for you. Okay, so the 6-month program is going to take you somewhere between 22 and 26 weeks to complete. We start on September 13th. The first session will be, I think, at 7 p.m. It's a 2-hour group class. You do not have to start on September 13th. I will be teaching this program in the future, but not until the first batch of witches have made it through, because I don't want folks coming in and kind of like starting things over and distracting things or whatever. So you're going to want to be registered for the program before September 13th. And we are going to have 2-hour-long group live classes every 2 weeks for those 22 weeks. And we're going to cover the 10 topics that I cover in the webinar briefly. We're going to spend 2 hours instead of 10 minutes. In the webinar, we're going to spend 2 hours on each of these areas. I'm going to teach you how to get better at each of these areas. And then you're going to have homework. You might have 1, 2, maybe 3 homework assignments. You might have some quizzes that you're going to work on for the next 2 weeks. And then we have another class. Okay, so there's going to be 2-hour-long classes every 2 weeks. In between, in those 2 weeks, you're going to be working on your homework, working on your quizzes. You're also going to be meeting with me privately one-on-one. So in addition to your bi-weekly 2-hour classes, you're also going to have bi-weekly one-on-one 30-minute coaching sessions with me to talk about the topic of the class, to talk about your homework. Maybe you're having some trouble or you have questions, or to talk about anything going on in your craft. Might not have anything to do with the topic of the week. You might have a particular issue, a spell you're working on, a ritual you're creating, or something, and you just want to run it by another witch or get some insight on it. So those 30-minute coaching sessions will be for you to really use as you like. I have a structure for those coaching sessions, so there are going to be certain things that I am going to want to check in with you and cover with you in those sessions, but you also can, use that opportunity to pick my brain or talk about different things. There are going to be quizzes. There are going to be homework assignments. Like I said, everyone who signs up for the coaching program is going to get free access to the Coven community on my online portal. The class is happening through the coaching program is happening through the online portal. So I'm also going to give you free access for 6 months to the Coven community. So if you are already a paid Coven community member, then you're just going to see your registration, your membership price go to $0 for those 6 months. If you've never joined, you're going to get a code so that when you sign up, the first 6 months are free for you, because I want you to be able to talk to other witches and grow your network of witchy friends and your community while we work on this, because the last module of the program is about building community and making connections with other pagans and other witches and why that's important. So I want you to be cultivating that for the whole 6 months. Okay. So you're going to get 6 months free in the Coven community. You are also going to have access to the discussion boards for every module. So if you have questions, if you want to, just shoot me a question about the training class outside of the one-on-one sessions, you're going to still be able to ask me questions, even when we're not in our one-on-one. So it's not like you're going to be left alone for 2 weeks and the only time you can talk to me is those 30 minutes. No, you have a discussion board that's just for the coaching program. So you'll be able to talk to me at any time. There's also going to be a close to $1,000. I've calculated it's like $967 or something, but there's almost $1,000 in discounts, deals, and referrals that I have worked on for you guys, because you guys may not have a lot of witchy friends, but I do, and my witchy friends are dope, and they do a lot of really dope stuff. For example, my shop witch Alexis is a light, sound, and crystal energy healing expert. This is what she's dedicated all of her craft to, in addition to being a Reiki master. And you're going to get to have like a birth chart session with her. You know what I'm saying? And she charges like $400 for some of her sessions. Totally worth it. I've had one myself. Took her 2 weeks to do all the research on me. Told me some shit that blew my mind. Very much worth it. But you're going to not have to pay that because she's my friend and she's going to hook it up for you as my coaching client. So there's going to be lots of deals and discounts and referrals, and it all comes out to like about $960 something in discounts and referrals that I am going to give you to other witches and to products and services from them, as well as some goodies from me that you normally cannot access. So that is, I think, by itself a really compelling reason to join the program. But it's definitely icing on the cake if all the other stuff sounds good to you. And then finally, one thing I am super excited about is the Magic Intensive Kit that I have created. Yes, okay. It is a super cool kit. The value of it is about $200. It's $200 worth of stuff that I think is useful. It is not just random shit, okay? I have put together the things that you are going to probably want to have through the coaching program, but also that you would just want to have in general, okay? You are going to get a astrological calendar. This is important because we're going to be talking about the importance of astrological transits as it relates, first of all, to who you are in the universe and why it is important to know that, but also so that we can do things like time rituals and spells, etc. So you're going to get an astrological calendar. You are going to get a ritual tarot planner. If you're not familiar with the company Ritual, Ritual, they make what I consider to be one of the best tarot planners. They have different versions of it, including one for kids. And I think it is the best planner based on like the information that's in the planner, but also how the planner is set up. And we're going to really want to use that heavily when we get to the divination module, especially if tarot or some type of card divination is what you're doing. You can use the notebook for any type of divination, but it just happens to work really well for tarot. And so you're going to get that. You are going to get a crystal pendulum, because we talk a lot about tarot as a divination tool. And guess what? Tarot is not for everybody. And not all of you really want to be sitting here doing tarot readings. You might want to just go to spirit and ask yes or no. Should I take this new apartment? Yes or no. Is he cheating on me? Like, you may not be trying to do the whole 3-card spread, past, present, future. What do my guides say? Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Divination for you might be a little bit more cut and dry. And a pendulum is great for that. So I'm going to give you a crystal pendulum. It's going to be amethyst, of course, because obvi. In the kit, you are also going to get a leather-bound Book of Shadows. Yes, because one of the modules is all about magical journaling and the importance of getting good at journaling your craft, why it matters, how to do it well, and we all need a good BOS. You know what I'm saying? So I got a really nice one from Anuent. It's 100% goat's leather. Beautiful handmade Dickel pages, hand bound in India. Okay, this is my favorite Book of Shadows, people. If you've ever seen my big ass leather Book of Shadows that I use for myself, that is from Anuent. You guys are going to get like a more manageable version because mine's ridiculous. The size is not, it's crazy. Okay, I want you to be able to actually take yours with you and take notes and all that. So it's a more manageable size, but she's thick. Okay, she's thick. So you're going to get that. You're also going to receive 2 very important texts. You're going to get a copy of the Kabbalion, because like I said, we are going to be covering universal law. And this is really key to the spell casting module, where we learn how to cast spells and why they work and what they're based on. And so you're going to, we're going to cover those principles. And so rather than reading them to you, I want you to have your own copy so you can refer to that. And then I'm going to give you a copy of the Book of Pagan Prayer. And the Book of Pagan Prayer, and all of the works really by, I believe it's pronounced Seswith Sereth. I love them. I have the big Book of Pagan Prayer and Rituals, and I use it all the time. So we are going to use that book because rather than you guys doing this thing where you buy these witchy books and then you have to try to memorize the words of the spell that the person who wrote the book, you are going to have a body of incantations, prayers, and words that you can use all the time in your spells and all the time in your rituals. So they become things that you don't have to look up anymore. Okay? There are certain spells, certain rituals that I perform that I do all the time, and I use the same words, the same prayers in them. So now I can say them by heart. When I'm casting certain spells and I'm doing certain rituals, I'm not sitting here having to flip through a book to remember what to say. I know them by heart, and I think the best way to do that is to have a collection of prayers and incantations for certain topics and intentions that you use anytime you're doing something related to that. So I'm going to get you that prayer book. Okay, so all of this is going to come in a nice big bundle mailed directly to you. And one of the benefits of registering for the coaching program as soon as possible is you will get your kit as soon as possible. I would ideally love for everybody to get their kit before the first class on September 13th. You don't have to, because it's not like Key, what did you miss? Girl, everything. We've been here for an hour. Where have you been? Welcome. It's good to see you. Don't worry, you can go back and catch it all. But yeah, I want you guys to get it early on. You're not going to need it for the first class per se, because the first class is going to be on knowing thyself, which is absolutely key in the foundation of everything else. But you're not going to need any tools for that lesson, and you're not going to need any tools for your homework assignments after that module. So you don't need to have the kit. Yes, Betty, the kit will be available no matter where you are in the world. This is Alysha Kravetz. This is not BronxWitch HeadQuarters, okay? The shop ships to the US, Canada, and the UK. I will ship to wherever, okay? Because I'm only going to be taking a few coaching clients. And so you guys are my babies for that 6 months. So I'm going to be taking very good care of you, and I'm going to get you everything you need no matter where you are. So yes, absolutely, the kit is available to my Canadian witches for sure. Okay, so the kit is going to come in a nice box with everything inside. There might be a couple of secret goodies in there too, but the kit is a $200 value. So she's thick, she's good, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy how the kit will supplement your program. Okay, and it's included in the program. So now the program is available right now to register. So I'm going to talk about it even more in the webinar. And in the webinar, we're going to talk about the 10 modules that actually make up the coaching program. So if you want to wait until the webinar to decide if you are ready to commit to the coaching program, then I totally understand, and that makes a lot of sense. But here's why you might want to consider registering for the coaching program if you already feel like you are ready for this before the webinar happens. 2 reasons. 1, you're going to get your kit ASAP. Okay, so that means you will definitely have it in time before the first class. So if you're the type of person like me who doesn't like to do things in pieces, I want to be ready to start on day 1. I want my planner, I want my notebook, I want my calendar, I want my stuff, then register now, because you will get your kit well in advance of the start of the first class. The other reason why you might want to go ahead and register for the full coaching program, if you know that this is calling to you, is because I am only going to take 10 witches for this program. Okay? 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10. Trying to remember my 4 words of French. 10. Okay? 10 witches for the coaching program. All right? I do not want anybody to feel like they are just one in the mix. I want to be able to give my undivided attention to every single witch in the program, so that if you really need a lot of my time and attention outside of our classes and our one-on-one sessions, I am able to give that to you. And so I want to be realistic with myself about what I can do, in addition to still obviously running the shop and everything happening over there. So I am only taking 10 witches for the coaching program. Let's do some math. Right now, we have about 50 people registered for the webinar. We still have a week before the webinar even happens, okay? And I will be continuing to tell people about it. People like to wait till the last minute for stuff. So let's say we have 100 people in the webinar who learn all about this program, learn all about the details, all the perks, all the benefits, everything that they're going to get. If only 10% of those people sign up for the coaching program, we're full. We're done. And I'm not going to be taking on any more witches until this program is done, or almost all the way done, probably until it's done. Okay, because the program's going to take us from September into January. So I'm probably not going to open the program back up until this first class is complete. So if this feels like something that you want to do, I just want you to fully understand that there will only be 10 spots available. And I am about to share the details of this program in a week with about 100 hungry witches. Okay? A bunch of hungry witches. So there's a really good chance that by the end of the webinar, those 10 spots are going to be taken. So just bear that in mind. The full coaching program is already available. You don't have to wait until the webinar. Just go to bronxwitch.com/coaching. Okay, bronxwitch.com/coaching. And that is where you will see all of the details for the full coaching program, as well as the links to go ahead and register. Something that I am going to be giving to everybody who decides to register now is a 3-month payment plan. I don't think I'm going to make this available to everybody in the webinar. I'm not 100% sure yet. But right now, there is one payment option, which is just the flat out cost of the whole coaching program. And then there's a second payment option where you can break it down into 3 monthly payments. I think when I do the webinar, I'm probably going to take that option away just so it's not confusing for me and stuff, and just have one price, one link, one payment. So you can kind of consider it maybe like an early bird discount or like a pre-order discount. But for right now, while the coaching program is in pre-order, you can purchase it outright if that's easier for you, or if it's better for you, you can break it down into 3 monthly payments, and you just click the drop down so you can choose which one of those payment methods you want to do. I feel like I'm not going to make that available in the webinar, just because there's so much stuff I'm giving in the webinar. There's going to be a free quiz. There's going to be a giveaway. There's going to be a lot of stuff in the webinar. So I feel like there's like enough in there for that. So this is something that is available right now, but by the time we get to next week, Wednesday, we'll probably just default back to the one payment. So those are the 2 reasons why you might want to register for the coaching program now. 1, you're going to get your $200 Magic Intensive Kit before class starts and have it in time. And 2, you are going to get the option to break your total payment down into 3 monthly payments. So you'll only pay 1/3 now, and then you'll 30 days from now have the next payment. Okay. That's also cool because it gives you the option to like cancel, honestly. I don't think anybody will, but maybe you attend the first class and you're like, I'm not ready for this. This is too much. I know this witch is not talking about 3 homework assignments in the next 2 weeks. Like, it just might be a lot. It might be too much for you. And then you'll be able to be like, you know what? I only paid for 1/3. I don't want to keep going forward. So the 3-month payment plan also gives you that kind of like security. So you won't be too deeply invested in it if you decide that it's not right for you. So I would take advantage of the pre-enrollment and get your magic kit and take advantage of the 3-month payment plan. You don't have to. You can just pay outright if you like don't want to think about it or whatever. But that's one of the benefits of the payment plan. So yeah, I think that's what you guys need to know. And all of this was like still in the works the last time I went live. So I just wanted to come on and like give you the official details, all the dates, all the times, all of that stuff. And yeah, bronxwitch.com/coaching to sign up for the full coaching program. And if you just want to attend the webinar, the link is in the description box here and in my bio on Instagram, as well as in the email that I sent out to the HQ mailing list. Definitely make sure to get on my new mailing list, which you will automatically get the option to join when you sign up for the webinar. But if you don't want to do that, you just want to get on the mailing list, and go to Instagram at Alysha Kravetz and sign up for the mailing list in the link in my bio. Any questions, anybody? Questions before my battery dies? I'm going to show you guys the kit. Wait, I have a picture. I don't have the kit with me. I'll have the kit with me during the webinar to actually show you everything. But I have a picture. Because she's so cute. Guys, I made a purple pesto tonight. It was amazing. This is what the pesto sauce looked like. Have you ever worked with red basil? I call everything red purple. Like, you know how people say red? Do you guys say red onion or purple onion? Because I say purple onion, but like in the store and stuff, it's called red onion. But to me, it's purple. I call it purple onion, and I do the same with the basil. It's called red basil, but it's purple to me. You call it red onion? I mean, I know you guys are probably right if you call it red onion. That's what the supermarket says. But like, how is that red? It's not red. It's like definitely purple. Look, these are the leaves. Can you see that? They're like this like haunting, deep, dark, almost black. Like, that's not red. There's nothing red about that. That's purple. It's a dark ass purple. Right? Thank you. Thank you, F.R. Humphrey. Okay, where's the kit? Like, look, this is what the basil looks like before. You see that? That's not red. Anyhow. Oops. Don't want to show you guys my nudes. I'm kidding, I don't have nudes. JK. Okay, ready? Y'all ready? Ready? I hope it catches. Oh no, is it too bright? Wait. This color might be too bright. Does that work? That never works for me, the hand thing. Oh, here we go. Can you see that? Maybe this picture would be better. I don't know if you can see that. Oh my gosh. Spirit's like, no, keep it a secret. No. I want you to see it. Can you see that? I think you can see it. Yeah, I can see it. Okay, that's not it. Hold on. Okay. You see that? A little bit? There she goes. Y'all see that? Isn't she cute? Yes! Magic Intensive Kit. Okay, we have the astrological calendar. We have the ritual planner. We have the leather-bound Book of Shadows. We have a very nice edition of the Kabbalion, a very nice edition of the Book of Pagan Prayer, and we have an amethyst crystal pendulum. $200 value kit going to be sent to you. You can see it. You can see it a little bit. She's cute, right? I was really proud making the picture. I was like, oh, I love this. So helpful. I would have loved to have this. So I'm going to live through you guys, but I would have loved for some witch to be like, here's what you need. You need a journal, you need a calendar, you need a divination tool, you need prayers, you need to understand what the hell is at the core of magic and why it works. Boom, bam, in a box to your house. Okay? So I love the Magic Intensive Kit. It's probably one of my favorite perks of the coaching program. I'm very proud of what I chose to go in it because I think I have chosen things that you're truly going to get value out of, be able to use extensively and really incorporate it into the things that we learn and that we work on together. So that's super cool. And yeah, if you register after the webinar, you obviously are still going to get it. I'll be sending it out as fast priority mail as I possibly can. But if you register, like on September 9th for the coaching program, I don't know if there are going to be spots open by then, but if there are and you register, you're not going to get the kit by the 13th, which again is okay. You're not going to need it necessarily for the very first module, but you might just want to have it. And so if you want to make sure that you have it in time, then you might want to pre-enroll right now while you still can take advantage of the 3-month payment plan before everybody else hears about it in the webinar. Something to consider, got to do what makes the most sense for you. But I don't think there are any questions. I'm going to heat up my tea, maybe have one more CBD gummy, and then go to bed. I have been running on like 3-4 hours of sleep every night because I've been working on the program at night. During the day, I'm in the shop, running the shop and working on shop stuff. And then I come home, have dinner, take a shower, and then crack the computer back open. My faithful steed, my beautiful computer doing so much work. And then I'm up till like 3-4 working on the class lessons, on the lesson plans, on the visual presentations, on all of that stuff. And almost done, but definitely more work to be done, but not tonight. Tonight, I'm going to get some rest and we'll be back at it tomorrow. So I don't think there are any questions. That usually tells me I did a really good job of explaining everything. So I'm happy about that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this late night hangout session, this surprise sort of high tea. It was really nice having you guys. Of course, if you do have any questions after this, or if you just came in the room and you watched the replay, then just drop your questions down in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, bronxwitch.com/coaching to sign up for the coaching program, and link in the description box or in my Instagram bio to sign up for the free webinar next week, Wednesday, August 30th at 9 p.m. Eastern during the full blood moon. Yep, see you Monday at book club, Betty. Looking forward to it. I'm enjoying Dark Mirror. Good night, FR Humphrey. Good night, you guys. Sleep tight, witches. I will see you all very soon. Blessed be.